The Gunners have it all to do when they travel back to Spain. They conceded 2 second-half goals at the hands of the best of all time. Lionel Messi grabbed 2 second-half goals to sink the Gunners, in my point of view, for the whole tie. You can't rule anything out now until obviously they travel to Spain to play the second leg. But it was a tough loss, I have to say, for Arsenal. Again, I'll just knock all the criticism on the head of how I'm never been a fan of Arsenal and I'm a fanboy of everyone else. I genuinely thought they played very well in the first half. I mean, they were as strong as John Terry's aftershave and a double date with one of his teammates in the first half. They were very good at holding their own position. They frustrated Barcelona. They closed down the space. They had a few chances on their own, I think, to convert, and they were unlucky not to do so. Still think they needed a better cutting edge when they got in and around the box, because Barcelona looked as if they panicked a little bit, especially when Arsenal found space in there. Ramsey and Giroud, both unlucky in coming close. Coquelin as well. But it just never really fell directly for them, and Ter Stegen, I think, was in the right place at the right time in many different occasions. So that frustration would then build up for Arsenal. But then again, the second half, they started the better team, specifically in the first 5 to 10, 15 minutes. I was doing my best to watch both games. I think I wish I had eyes like that guy in Mr. Deeds to watch both games at the same time, because both of them were so exciting. But Arsenal, again, putting a lot of pressure on Barcelona's backline. They weren't allowed to play out as easily as they have done, of course, in the Nou Camp. But it was only going to take one moment of brilliance, and it was a counter-attack that I think Arsenal should have been more prepared for, because Barcelona were always going to counter-attack that way, and it was Neymar who eventually broke free and found Lionel Messi coming in at the back post, and as I mentioned on Twitter, that check mark against his name, the score against none other than Petr Cech, is now clear. He bagged in that first goal. Cech had no chances. Neymar squared it across, and the greatest footballer of all time was not going to miss from 6 yards out. And that is all Barcelona needed. I think they would have been comfortable going back with a 1-0 victory. And I think Arsenal might have still been in the tie if they were able to go back to the Nou Camp and frustrate them the way they did and play some good football and try to find that finishing product. I expected more from Mesut Ozil today. I think Alexis Sanchez was quiet in certain times. He was getting into it too much with Dani Alves. I thought Dani Alves did a very good job of frustrating both Ozil and Alexis Sanchez. And I thought that with how optimistic I think Arsenal looked in certain points of that game, they still were in the tie. But it's a moment of sheer stupidity from Flamini. Like, Messi's coming in full pelt. You know how quick this guy's feet is. You know how nimble he is. He's going to be tricky. He's going to lure you into that tackle. Flamini just takes a massive swipe. Like, I can't even describe it any other way. Like, he just swipes at the ball. You shouldn't be doing that if there's any opponent coming to you. Never mind the greatest footballer to have ever graced the earth, who's quick on his feet and is way ahead of you, and he already sees this coming. He just takes the hit, and it's a penalty kick, and the tie's over right there. That's it. I hate to be the pessimistic guy. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I think most people know it by now. 2-0 losing to Barcelona at home, 2 away goals to go back to the Nou Camp. It will be the great escape. There'll be no movies written on it if Arsenal can go to the Nou Camp and manage to somehow take this tie, even take it to a different level, because I think that Barcelona are going to capitalise on this confidence. I think there was times in the game where they looked under the cosh but still were able to emerge victorious, and that's something that pays tribute to how Luis Enrique has formatted this team. You see them in the weekend against Las Palmas in a frustrating environment, still able to emerge with a victory. This Barcelona team has a winning mentality. They're able to play against the frustrations that they're expected to face and still come out on top, and that's a testament to the team that, in my point of view, could be one of the best teams we've ever seen. It really depends on whether or not they repeat, continue to add those accolades, but just seeing how well they're able to bounce back from a game that's not going their way is a great example of how overall brilliant this team are. So again, my main takeaways from this game is Arsenal. I do feel bad. I think the 2 goals were harsh, especially on the way they played. I think that at times I think I would have brought in Danny Welbeck sooner. I think he gave a new lease of life, and I think Giroud would have been out for me maybe in the 60th mark. I think that Welbeck should have been introduced to give that bit of speed up there and frustrate Mascherano and Piqué even more. But again, it's football. Anything can happen. I think Arsenal fans will have their fingers crossed, praying to the gods, have a voodoo doll, anything you can to try and get a result in Spain in the next few weeks, because it's going to be a tough task. Nonetheless, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Did Barcelona deserve this victory? Was it harsh on Arsenal? Make sure to check out our recap of the BAYERN Juventus game as well. That's coming next. Thanks again, TYT Sport.